this is the first in a video series of how to get an RS800 up to pace. The first one we're looking at buying the boat. Hopefully it'll inspire some of you who are looking to get into the class or just looking to do more events and get on the circuit. 1144 is 10 years old and we're the 5th owner. It's done 8 nationals. So when we bought the boat, we really wanted a new deck style just for run through manoeuvres, but now looking at the older decks, I don't really see any reason for that. And actually the price difference between the older decks and the new decks, you can get some proper good bargains with the old deck style. If the price is good and the boat is solid, I certainly wouldn't rule out an old deck style. After all, Rory managed to finish 3rd at the Nationals in a boat that was 17 years old. So the first thing to do with your new boat is give it a really good clean, go over every component and scrub it down. You're looking for anything that could break and cause further damage. It's a good way to get to know your new boat once you've bought it. Also, give the hull on the underside a really good polish. It's probably one of the cheapest ways to improve the performance of the boat straight away, and it's basically free. When you look at a boat to buy, don't be put off by flaking paint and peeling Pro Grip. One of the cheapest things to do is strip the Pro Grip off and get it re-powder coated and sandblasted first. It's 60 quid for the painting and you get the Pro Grip for about 50 or 60 quid as well. As you can see here, when we bought the boat, our racks were in a terrible state, but the finish we got after they were painted was immaculate. Once you've had them painted, bring them inside, give them a wipe down with white spirits or acetone, and then start about pro gripping. You want to use a pro grip which you need separate glue for. Put it on with a hairdryer, chamfer the edges, and then wrap it in cling film. Blow the hairdryer down the tube just to keep it nice and hot whilst it moulds the shape of the tube. Then what you can do is leave it for a few days with the cling film on, just really tight, just to really hold that pro grip down. I'll put a link in the description for the methodology, but it's basically the one taken from the Musto Skiff website. Some of the hidden costs of buying an 800 all come with the rack settings. Basically, before you buy a boat, have a rough guess at what your rack settings are going to be by using the virtual plank online. Basically, if your racks are out, it could mean you need new control lines, longer sheets, longer tour extensions, and also lead. I think if I'd known that when buying the boat, I would have added the cost in, especially for the lead, which is like 60 or 70 quid a lead. If you're buying an older boat, there's probably 2 key things to look at. One is around all the fittings, check that they haven't gone soft where the screws go into the wood beneath. And secondly, the masts. A lot of boats left in the dinghy park for a long time, the varnish on the mast will have flaked off and you can have quite a lot of UV damage to the mast. So check those 2 things, but if it's got a sound mast and sound fittings, then even an old boat should be very competitive. So that pretty much covers buying a boat. There are some hidden costs in there, but if you factor them in, you can really get a great bargain. There's no boat that offers quite the performance of an 800 for such a low price. The RS800 has closed class rules, so there's not much you can do to the boat, but there are some things you can do just to get the systems working as the designers intended. So I'm going to run out over this winter a few more videos just on getting everything working properly and ready to be competitive at national events. So the future video is going to cover off-boom sheeting, how to get that working well, Cunningham system, trapeze gear and elastics, and the Spinnaker pole, launch line, tack line. Should just help you get your boat working smooth and reliably. If there's anything specific you want to know, then drop me a comment or a message and I'll try and include it in the future.